can see me. Let me see. The Hangout on air is live. Okay. Well, I'm so happy to be with you all today. My name is Ann Wasil, and I want to first thank Natasha Babchak for inviting me to take part in this Google Hangout. I know Natasha is an entrepreneurial student in the entrepreneurship program at UNC at Chapel Hill, and I want to thank her so much for inviting me to be part of this with you here today. I know that we don't have the ability right now for this for this evening to have you ask me any questions or to do a Q&A, but she did want me to let you know that if there is any interest, to please get in touch with her, and possibly we'll be able to set something up in the near future, and we can do something that can address that, and I can speak to you all one-on-one or one-on-50 or whatever whatever that is. So I'll tell you a little bit about the Get in Touch Foundation and who I am and how it is that Natasha came to invite me to speak with you this evening. So my name is Ann Wasil, and 10 years ago, when I was 39 years old, I discovered a lump on my left breast. Now, I had no family history of breast cancer, and I had 3 children. My daughters were turning 12 and 13 at the time. My son was 10. And when I discovered this lump on my breast, I immediately called my doctor. And I had a negative mammogram and an ultrasound that resulted in the radiologist telling me to come back in a year because he wasn't worried at all about breast cancer as a possible diagnosis. He felt that because I had no family history and because of my age and how healthy I was, that this could not possibly be breast cancer. So, since I was 39 years old and for 39 years was the expert on my body, I didn't believe him because I wanted more answers. And so I pushed and I saw a surgeon, and I had a surgical biopsy that resulted in stage 2 breast cancer diagnosis that also had spread to my lymph nodes. So it's a good thing that I knew my body as well as I did, and really disregarded his advice and sought additional answers for my own health. And so what I wondered and what I worried about was my own daughters, who were turning 12 and 13 at that time. Now, I had no family history of breast cancer, but I looked at them and I thought, they have a family history of breast cancer. And what does that mean for them? Well, I knew that having a mother that was diagnosed under the age of 40 put them at a higher risk than they already were at. I know that being a woman puts you at risk. So I spoke with my pediatrician, I spoke with my doctors, and I wanted to know specifically what it was that they needed to do. And so what I was told was that at the age of 29, 10 years younger than I was at the time of my diagnosis, it was recommended that my daughters would have a baseline mammogram. Now, I know that many of you are in your early 20s, 20, maybe your late teens, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And I'll tell you this, I wasn't thinking about having a mammogram when I was your age, and I wasn't thinking about it even when I was 29. It's just not been, it's something that was not on my radar. And unfortunately, I realized that it would be for my daughters. And I knew that it would be important, even before they turned 29, for me to begin a conversation with them about breast health and not just breast cancer. I think it's especially important that we have conversations about breast health before we talk about breast cancer, because then you approach everything from a position of fear. And we all know that that's not an empowering place to be. When you are educated, when you feel good about your body, about yourself, when you are taking that into your own hands, and when you are responsible for yourself, even in that small way, that gives you a great deal of strength and power. And we know that that's a better position to do anything from, a position of power and strength, than from a position of fear. And so I said to my daughters, okay, I know you're 12 and 13, but I now know that you have a family history of breast cancer, and doing a breast self-exam is going to be a really important thing for you to do for the rest of your life. So lay down and I'm going to show you how to do a breast self-exam. And so they looked at me and they said, we don't have any breasts. And I said, yes, I can see that. But you will one day, and it's going to be very important that you know what your normal, healthy breast tissue feels like. Because, ladies, our bodies change all through our lives. Now, many of you, you're in college, and you know your bodies are different than they were when you were in middle school. You know they're different even from when they were when you even began college. And they just continue to change and go through all sorts of wonderful and sometimes not so wonderful changes that it's important to be familiar with, no matter what. You need to know what your body feels like after you drink a pot of coffee. Sometimes you can be cystic from too much caffeine. You need to know what your body feels like and what your normal healthy breast tissue feels like if you put on 5 pounds or you take off 10 pounds, or even after you have a baby, even during pregnancy. It's important, always important, to be doing breast self-exam at every aspect of our lives and every time in our lives. And so I thought, so how do I get this really important message out to girls? How do I say it's important for you to know how to get in touch with your body and to know what your normal healthy breast tissue feels like? And so I decided that the best way to get this message across would be to start a nonprofit organization. And so I decided that not only would we have this wonderful program that we would give free to schools and girls all over the world, we would have a nonprofit organization called the Get in Touch Foundation, which would house that program and raise the funding necessary to be able to provide the program for free to schools all over the world. So whether you are an entrepreneur for a nonprofit organization or a for-profit organization, when you know what your mission is, when you know who you are serving, when you believe completely in your mission and what you're doing, that always makes it better and stronger. Just like I talked about with approaching anything from a place of knowledge or from a place of fear. So when you know everything there is to know, when you believe completely in your mission, it certainly is a lot easier to get people to participate and help you fine-tune what it is that you want to do. So with the Get in Touch Foundation, I knew that our key was going to be what would be crucial to the efficacy of our program would be the fact that it had to be a free program. And I didn't know the first thing about starting a nonprofit organization, so what I did was I had worked for several before, but I didn't know what it entailed to actually build one from the ground up. And so I did what anyone starting any business would do. Any business, whether it's a nonprofit or a for-profit. I surrounded myself with the smartest people that I know. I surrounded myself with people who were strong where I was weak, who knew about things that I had no idea about. I have a board and an advisory board filled with medical people, with pediatricians and radiologists and oncologists and breast surgeons and plastic surgeons and radiologists and educators and teachers and school nurses and lawyers and artists and all kinds of people that knew everything there was to know about starting a nonprofit and building an educational breast health program that we could give for free to schools. So when you think about it, I mean, we sat down and made lists. So who in a school do I need to speak with? Who in the medical world do I need to speak with? And who in the legal world do I need to speak with about pulling all of this together? It's a lot of people. And the best, really the very, very best advice that I can give you for any endeavor that you would participate in your life is just really surround yourself with people that know more than you do. You never want to be the smartest person in the room. Trust me. You want everyone else to be so brilliant and know their stuff so well that they can help lift what it is that you're doing, your mission or your vision, and take it to the next level. So what we did was we put all the paperwork together, and it was mountainous paperwork to do, and lots of things to file with the government, and we celebrated really just, we were so overjoyed when we finally received our nonprofit status, and then we were able to really start promoting our program and pushing it out there and getting schools and school nurses and girls to get involved and get interested. So on September 1st, 2009, we launched our program. We launched the Get in Touch Foundation to school nurses whom I had begun to develop a relationship with over the course of the past year or so. I knew that that would be the group of individuals that I would want to target our program toward so that they could deliver it to the girls in grades 5 through 12. And so I began reaching out to them and attending the National Association of School Nurse Conference and reaching out to school nurses in my community. We had a focus group of school nurses from my town there were 16 school nurses that were on the original focus group for the Get in Touch Foundation for our girls program that helped build the focus group that we did with the young girls that helped really put everything together for the final product, for the daisy wheel, which is right here. That's our daisy wheel. So it was knowing that they would be able to assist in building a program that would be strong and comprehensive. That was just such an important and critical part of what we did, because I wanted to build something that would assist them in the already excellent work that they're doing, because school nurses are the unsung heroes in this country and actually in many countries. They're on the front lines for healthcare for the children in our nation, and oftentimes, all too often, school nurses can be the family doctor for some of these children. That is who the family sees when the children aren't well. So having them on board and knowing that they could assist us in building a program that suited their needs, that was simple enough for them to deliver and implement, was critical. And they have been incredible and spectacular. And I had attended the National Association of School Nurse Conference in Boston in June of 2009, met with almost 1,000 school nurses one-on-one, and told them about this program that we were about to launch, so that when we did launch on September 1st of 2009, we had schools in 23 states sign up in the first 24 hours. So that's a lot. Schools in 23 states signed up for our program in the first 24 hours that we launched. So that was a lot of legwork and relationship building, really, that went into that moment. That 24 hours. It wasn't all about that 24 hours. It was about the years of really hard work that led up to that launch day. And to this day, we now have schools in all 50 states have signed up for our program. Our daisy wheel, this daisy wheel right here, we have provided over 500,000 of these daisy wheels to girls in schools in all 50 states and in 26 countries. And we also have a free app on the iTunes store, so I encourage you to go to that It's Daisy Wheel on the iTunes Store. And since we launched that 3 years ago, next month it will be 3 years, it has been downloaded in 80 countries, which is really, really incredible. So our mission of giving free breast health education and information to girls all over the world is being realized every minute, every single day. And we're incredibly, incredibly proud of that. We know that we have a long way to go, because as long as women continue to be diagnosed with breast cancer, our work is far from over. But we plan on reaching 1 million girls with our Daisy Wheels by the year 2015, and we know that we keep reinventing how maybe we reach people, and whether it's through social media or through Google Hangouts or through Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat or whatever we do, that may change and grow and morph and be whatever the flavor of the day is. But the one thing that will not change is our mission. We stay true to our mission, and we are focused on the one thing that makes us who we are and sets us apart from anyone else. And that's really the sign of a true entrepreneur, someone who's doing something that no one else is doing. And so we stay true to this mission, and with whatever you do in your life, whatever path you choose to go down and be an entrepreneur in, stay true to that mission, and you can't miss. If you surround yourselves with smart people that believe in what you're doing and share your mission and your vision and your philosophy, you'll be successful. You really will be. So let's see, what else can I say today? If you really, like I said to you, if you have any questions, and I wish that we could be interactive, but I think that maybe we will be able to do that. Let Natasha know, and we can put together another day and time, and I would love to chat with you all a little bit more about about what it is that you're interested in doing, and if I can help you personally, please be sure and reach out and let me know. Our website, I'm going to tell you all to go take a peek at our website. It is getintouchfoundation.org. And you could also find us on Facebook. It's the Get in Touch Foundation. We're also on Twitter. We're also on Instagram, Daisy Wheel GIT. And we're also on, hey, we're doing Google Hangouts now too. So, hey, that's our next step, thanks to Natasha. This is our first one, and hopefully will be the first of many that I can share with our future, our wonderful, bright minds, and the future right here. So I look forward to hearing from you all and catching up with you maybe in a few weeks, and we could do a fun little Q&A. But until then, check your breasts. Make sure you do that, okay? And enjoy your summer vacation. And if you're graduating, congratulations. I'm incredibly proud of you. And I think probably most of you, maybe most of you are female on this Google Hangout. So I do know that it's open for everyone. But for you young ladies who are in school and making a difference in the world, I am so incredibly proud of you, because the world just can't do it without you. We need more women just like you. All right, so thank you all, and I'll be in touch soon. Thanks. Bye.